Hey folks, this is Captain Jeff Cronk here today with Captain Rennie Clark. We're down around Topsail Beach today. Captain Rennie Clark has put a lot of time in searching for redfish for all these tournaments, so he's gonna show us how to get it done today. What have you been looking at now, Rennie?
Man, I've been on some good flats with spread out redfish. Not any big schools per se, but I have found one flat that we'll hit probably later in the day that does have about 300 fish on it, kind of spread out. 3 different schools. One's got some lower slot fish, the other one's got some mid slot to over slot, and then the other ones are just big fish.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get on those fish a little bit later if this weather holds out on us. But right now we're just probably going to work some top water baits and some of these shallow water baits around Topsail Beach, and we're going to hit 2 or 3 of them real quick, see what we can find, and then we'll probably hit the bigger flat later in the day.
I gosh, it sounds good, folks. Stay tuned. Some redfish action on board with Carolina Fishing TV and Captain Rennie Clark.
The rod and reel setup is really key in artificial bait fishing for redfish. You have to make long casts, and casting is the key. And I use Riley rods made by Captain Mike Peterson out of Wilmington, North Carolina. They have the best action of any rod I've ever used. They're really light. They're lighter than any rod I've ever used, and very sensitive. And some of the baits, like I said, that we were going to use today is Gold Spoon, which is one of my favorite lures of all time. If I could just have one lure in my box, it would be a Gold Spoon, because it's so versatile. You can work it on top, you can jig it off the bottom, you can just slow roll it, kind of like a spinner bait. You can't work it wrong, and every different location is going to be different. Shallow water, you're going to probably rip it a little bit faster through the water, and a little bit, if you're fishing 3 foot or more, you're probably going to slow it down and kind of jig it and stop it and start cranking it. Focus is going to be on top water lures, and what I like to use are small skidder walks. It's the freshwater model, and I change all the hardware out on these lures because they're made for freshwater fish, bass, and actually the color I like to use the most is this frog color pattern. You have to change these split rings out to 50-pound split rings, and the hooks need to be 4 times strength hooks. And what I like to do on the rear hook is to put a Sure Set number 4 times strength hook on the back, and it gives it a little bit more weight. And this bait has a great action in the water. The back of it sits down in the water so the redfish can suck it up, because redfish are mainly bottom feeders. They like crustaceans, crabs, shrimp. When they're tailing on crabs. When they do miss the top water bait, you'll notice today when I'm fishing, I'm not going to jerk the bait. You want to feel that fish before you tighten up on the fish so you don't pull that bait away from the strike zone. If you jerk this bait out of the strike zone once the fish misses, he's probably not going to hit it again. If you just stop the bait or keep working, I wouldn't say stop it if they miss it the first time. Just keep working the bait. I know it's hard. And what I like to do is focus on these points of these little islands and stuff and these marsh areas, because that's where the redfish are going to be hanging to ambush this bait. There he is. That's a good one. Look at that take, man. That's what I like to see right there. A lot better fish there. Look at the bend in this Loki rod. Ah, he just pulled. Tell you what, that was a good fish right there. He was feeding on bait. I saw that fish pushing on the bank eating. Threw that plug over there and he missed it 3 times. Okay. He swallowed that plug. That one ain't coming off. That Sure Set's down his throat. Look at that. That little fish tried to swallow that bait. One. Got it. Sometimes the better fish just suck it down like that. That wasn't a big explosion. This is a better fish than that last one. Grunting, drumming. Should have ready, perfect one. Yeah, there he is. Oh yeah. Look at that. Fish is so shallow you can see the back come out of the water when you hit it. Another pretty fish. You can see this eelgrass on the bottom here where we're fishing, and they love this grass. It's a good ambush area. It's kind of like the flats in Florida. We're lucky. Between Riceville Beach and Topsail, there's a lot of these grass flats, and the redfish love them. If you hold the fish upside down, it'll actually it'll put them to sleep. I mean, they won't move on you. Just hold them upside down if you can't get the bugger grip in there. That way you don't cut your hands all up on these hooks. So he's just kind of sleeping there. He's kind of relaxes them, kind of like lipping a bass. His lip might have been a little sore from that last pulled hook. There he is, right behind it. Got it. Look at him. So skinny his back's out of the water again. Sitting in about 6 inches of water over there. That's why having the right tackle set up is key, because if you couldn't get to these fish with long casts, you're not going to catch them. So we're sitting on bottom with the boat. We can't get any further than we are right now. But yeah. Oh, there he went. Little guy. Fine little sucker. Oops, quick release. It's a little pretty. Taking off the left. One right behind him. There he is. We were drifting in those fish, so I had to shove the trolling motor down into the mud to stop us. That school of fish is right over here between us and the bank. Oh yeah. There he is. Good little fish. A little bit better fish. It's all gone now. But this little sucker's been eating some shrimp. Pretty hot and heavy. There it is. Folks, what we're doing is fishing topwater baits in real skinny water. The boat's actually sitting on the bottom. It's about 10, 11 inches where we're sitting. And the fish have been in about 4 to 6 inches, and the water's coming up. And the fish were getting more aggressive. When we first rolled into this flat, we could see some fish pushing from the middle of the flat to the edge, and they were popping bait and coming back out. And now we're seeing the water coming up, and the fish are getting happier. And what we mean by happy is they're feeding, and they're not scared to be in that skinny water with birds diving on top of them and that sort of thing. It's a comfort zone. Once they get in a water depth that they're comfortable in, they're going to stay there and they're going to feed more aggressively. Missed it. I felt him for a second. There he is. That's awesome. You miss one fish and he takes off right, and then another one hits it. These fish are staying super skinny up against that bank. They're starting to feed a little better now. Not real big fish, but aggressive fish. That's what I like. Oops. Spit it just like that. That bait was down his throat too. They can do it. You're going to lose a lot of fish using top water, but man, it's worth it. There he is. Missed it twice and then got it on that third one. There he is. What a pretty little pup. Still missed it. Some better fish right there. See, I threw on top of those fish. There's a pot of fish there. I wouldn't call it a big school or anything. But when I did, I let it sit there. And if you let that weight go away from that bait, pause it for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then start the bait up, usually you'll get a blow up like that. They'll settle down and they'll come back and hit that bait. Look at that. There he is. What we've got here is a little pocket bay off of a main creek off the Intercoastal Waterway, and what you look for in an area like this is a place that's holding bait out of the current. And what we've got here is a straight creek that comes in here, and there's a couple little pocket bays off the east side of the creek. And what happens is the shrimp push up here at high tide. This flat that we're sitting on is totally dry at low tide. Once this water pulls out of here, this bait will pull off of here and go back into the main part of the creek. But the same thing happens when the tide rises. The bait pushes up on this flat, and these fish follow the bait because they can pin them up against the back of these little marsh indentions in the bank. Anytime you find what we call a scallop bank, it's kind of cut out in the bank, it's a good place for redfish and any kind of game fish to close in on bait in a shallow area. So, you know, look for that when you're out prospecting new water. Look for scallop banks, and also look for bait in the area. If you see shrimp jumping, there's a good chance there's some redfish underneath those shrimp.
Nice fish.
Yeah, good fish here.
We just come back out and hit a few spots this afternoon. Who'd you have on this morning filming with you? Aaron? Mm-hmm. Aaron was on with Rennie this morning. Got some awesome topwater footage this morning. Called me up and said, you ain't gonna believe it. I come back down, this is a big fish, boys.
That is a big one there. That's one of them uppers.
He said, you ain't gonna believe this. Get back down here. I said, you sure? And I come down here today. What about, there's some pigs this afternoon. There's some nice fish this afternoon. Oh, he did not spit that right there.
Man, I saw him right before he spit.
Oh.
It was definitely upper slot. That's how it goes sometimes, though.
That's fishing, man.
That was a big one. Yeah, we just came by one of the local wildlife guys here, and it's just a routine check. Probably gonna ask us if we caught any fish, but anytime you see these guys turn around, be sure to stop for them and be friendly, because they ain't out to cause a problem. What's going on, man?
Hey,
Good, man. How about yourself? Where the fish at today? Man, we caught a couple overslots, but we've been filming the show, man. We caught a couple overslots, and he just pulled a nice upper slot, but he ain't really got on a whole lot this afternoon. We got on some good ones this morning. Oh, yeah. Man, I always throw them back.
All right, buddy, that's all. Help you guys up.
That's the North Carolina Marine Patrol. We usually have the Marine Patrol enforcing the saltwater. Wildlife enforces both. I mean, they'll come into the saltwater too, but Marine Patrol has authority in the saltwater only. And so you'll see the Marine Patrol, the wildlife officers, and then the U.S. Coast Guard. So
they're just out to keep everybody else safe and make sure you're obeying all the laws on the water, which is a good thing. Keeps us all safe.
we can keep catching fish, and let's go do that right now.
All right, let's do it.
There he is. There's one there. He's skinny though.
Yep.
It's surprising with all the bait in here.
Yeah, but
That's
some of
skinny.
them, man, they just
Look at
come
that.
from the ocean.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's just as silver as can be. Look at him.
Those are the ones that
23 inches.
You'll catch one like that, and then you'll get one that's just lit up, man. The resident fish have mixed all in, and these schools of ocean fish have come in here.
Yeah, I mean, usually like that, he's on it. That kind of hit, he's usually on it first strike. Definitely come back for a second strike.
Oh yeah, you get that school, they will. They're so shallow and clear here. This is actually a good clear part of it.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah, look at that big
That was crazy. Was that
Oh,
something?
that was, dude.
Yeah, I was getting ready to crank it up, bring it in the boat.
That was a big fish too.
I changed the retrieve on it, sped it up, and I was getting ready to bring it in the boat. Man, that's a
big
30 incher.
Yep. Big overslot there.
God.
Man.
Sweet, Rennie. Nice, man.
Good fish there.
He followed her all the way from over, didn't he?
Sure did. Yeah, that's 30 plus. Man.
Yeah, he's over. Definitely 30 plus.
Big old fish right there.
You're getting the Pamlico River size fish here, aren't we?
Yeah, we got a 36 out here the other day.
He'll go over 32 for sure.
Your clicker's going in that drag, man. I've replaced like 2 or 3 in each of my
Yeah.
Things are so clean. Good fish, bro.
The man.
Good fish.
Good thing we're not in an overslot fish tournament, right?
Yeah.
31 to 32, somewhere in there.
So we'll 31, 32.
Come back to the right a little bit, yeah. He's about 31, 31 and a half. Nice
Good
fish.
fish, man.
How heavy is he on that grip there?
About 11,
Yeah, 11 to 12.
12. It's a big fish.
He has his gut.
Just
hasn't
ain't got no
yet.
big gut on him. It's a long fish. It just came in from the ocean.
He will soon.
Yep.
All the bait in here.
Not real lit up yet. It's got a little bit of color in those fins, but still real silver fish.
They pushed those mullets right in there and just sat there on them. Mullets went too far in for him.
Little fish. Not miss a lot.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that little loop I just had now.
This one might be over slot.
Think so?
Yep. You know, we catch a lot of these fish in these tournaments, man. You can pretty much tell if it's an O or, you know, a good fish. And this fish here, I can kind of tell, man. He's probably gonna be an inch or so over. That's a big redfish. Let's measure him up. Not quite as big as yours, but he was in that same class.
Actually, go forward there.
About
He's
31.
sitting on, yeah. He's sitting on just about 31 right there. That's a nice fish there.
Nice fish.
Figs.
He's got a big belly on him. See that fish?
Yeah, he's got a little bigger belly on him. He's fat.
More
Looks like
lit
he
up.
might be rode up there.
Yeah.
The anal end's red on him, bright red.
A little more lit up.
Oh, nice blow up there.
Big one. Turn that bigger plug, man.
Orange belly they're going after, aren't they?
Orange belly and bigger plug.
I don't know though. I had 2 blow-ups that didn't take it too. You know?
Yeah.
That one just struck it. Struck a good smaller fish too, actually. He's about 20. He looks like a 24-incher. Bays and creeks and stuff off the main ICW.
Yeah.
It's pretty clear. So I mean, we looked forward and there was a little place about 4 feet across where pure mud churned up, and the mullets don't usually do that. That's usually redfish. You see big mud bowls, and we usually know there's some redfish. He's a nice pup. He'd be a starter fish in a tournament. You know, 2 of those and takes a little pressure off. But if he was about 25 inches, 2 of those would take a little more pressure off.
Exactly.
I don't know. That was just luck. Total luck, that one. I popped it one to hit the water. I popped it one time, and I pointed that way with my rod, talking about this black drum down in Florida. And
Just that little pause sometimes triggers a strike too.
yeah. Small one about 20, 21 inches, about 20 inches. Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Excellent job today. Be sure to give Captain Rennie a call. You know, he fishes anywhere from New River down to all the way down to Wilmington on a daily basis. He's got these waters in the back of his head. He knows them. You do mostly, inshore fishing.
Inshore, artificial bait only fishing. So this is going to be top water, soft plastic, spoons, spinner baits. I don't carry a cast net, so we do light tackle charters, and give me a call if you want to get on some of these redfish.
That's it. We appreciate it, Rennie. Take care.
Yeah, man.